I'm one of them Gen Xers that talk about the old times and how things used to be. But you know what? We long for that time of simplicity when we used to talk to people and we used to have connections with people that's no longer there anymore because in our today's world, people are so stimulated, they're so stressed, they have their nose stuck in their phones, and it consumes them. And that's a time of our lives that we once had that we're never going to be able to get back, no matter how bad we want it. We can try to control that to the best of our ability and keep the relationships and find relationships with people that have the same values of that we have. I did something last week that has been a little bit of a challenge for me because I catch myself reaching for my phone, even at 55 years old, and clicking on things that I didn't mean to click on, picking up my phone to check my bank statement or whatever. Then the next thing I know, I'm scrolling through reels and watching this and that and just getting caught up in something and not really meaning to. So I went in last week and I set timers on my phone for screen time for certain apps to give me just a certain amount of time a day, and they shut off. Having my phone to shut down everything on there except certain things at night that is very important, like certain people that I allowed to contact me after a certain hour, and keep, Live 360 on where I can keep up with my family and things like that. But just social media apps, YouTube, Facebook, all those kind of things, I have them shut off. Can you still get into those things? Well, yeah, you can if you want to. But what it does is having them shut off, it tells you, if you click on it, that you can override it for a minute, 15 minutes, or for the day. But having that on my screen, knowing that is shut off, it gives me a moment to think about it. Okay, can this wait? Do I really want to go down that rabbit hole right now? Do I have enough, self-control and boundaries right here not to click on this that I have set for myself? In this digital age that we live in, we're not going to get away from it. It's here to stay. With AI, it's just going to get more and more. But how we let it affect us, that's up to us as individuals for sure. And one thing that it has done to me, and this is just my personal experience, is that I catch myself at this age being more stressed out and not being able to shut down. My mind's always busy, always stimulated, always thinking about something, always searching something, always watching something. And I've got to thinking about, why am I doing this all the time? The worst thing that I used to have was, growing up, is I might have played a little bit, too much Pac-Man, maybe Mario, and, maybe watched a little bit too much TV, stayed up, watched that because, back in the day, you either watched it or you recorded it on a VCR and you watched it later. But today, having these devices everywhere we go, even when you go to bed, we use them for alarm clocks. And you can catch yourself, hey, I'm going to check my alarm and make sure it's set. Then the next thing you know, 30, 45 minutes later, you're sitting in your bed watching a show that you can watch right on your device, or you can be sitting there flipping through those reels, through those posts, looking at pictures, doing whatever. They're just so convenient for us. But it's a tool to use. It's not a bad thing. It can be used in the correct way. And there's nothing wrong with watching the reels and everything, but I think, set the limits. And when I say it's not a bad thing, I mean you can take a hammer and you can build a house with it, or you can knock somebody in the head with it. It can be used in the wrong way. So this same way, with our digital world that we live in, and I just think it's healthy, I know it is for me, from my personal experience, to set those limits. And I catch myself. So often, my phone is laying there beside me, and it's been such a habit in doing things. I catch myself just reaching there or reaching on my side to get it off or get it out of my pocket and just look at it and not even realize I'm doing it. And here I go down that rabbit, trail. You get that text message and you just got to check it right then, And, you know, I set my text messages up with tones from my family that I know that it come from them. But if I get a ding from something else, you know, I don't actually have to grab and check it right then. So that's one reason, you know, the limits have been good for me. If I do get a text message from my family and there's other stuff like that on my phone, I know to check that text message, and I look at that, and when I see that Facebook out that it's darkened out, or that YouTube out that it's darkened out, that I don't have to go down that rabbit hole and stay there for a long time. And the simplicity of our days that we have experienced, if you're Gen X or older, we're never going to get that back 100%. But I think it's important for us to remember where we came from and to hang on to that and to share that with other people of how those days used to be, of the life that we had, how good it was. And I'm not all about living in the past either. So, oh, you're just an old fogey, you just want to live in the past. Well, the past wasn't that bad in a lot of areas. Just like today's not bad in a lot of areas. I love the convenience of a lot of the things that we have, how much easier it is on a lot of things that we have today compared to what it used to be. But the convenience of what we have today has took away a lot of the interaction that we have with people. That's what I miss the most, is the interaction that we have with each other, the talking to each other instead of just picking up a phone and sending a text message. That's even caused a problem of dialing a phone, because a lot of times sending the text messages, you know, we think that might be connection, and it is in a way, but it's not true connection of hearing a human voice and talking to someone else. Just my thoughts for today. I don't know if I introduced myself. My name is Jeff, and I appreciate you stopping by the channel. And if you like this kind of content where I just talk about different things on here, from life, of different things I've been through, Gen X stuff, YouTube stuff, just different things, whatever's on my mind. That's the reason I call this Jeff's Vibes, Seasons of Life. Just talk about different things. So hit that like, subscribe, bell notification button. That way you know when I post new videos, and go out there and do something good for somebody today. It's good for them, and it's good for you. So have a great day.